It says we're streaming on Facebook. Okay.
Yay!
Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in this morning. We're here with Nikki Rice. She is the owner and head trainer of CrossFit Recoil in Los Alamitos. I've been doing CrossFit now for about almost 2 months, and a hell of a workout. It's amazing. Thanks to this one here. She's great. So I just want to say thank you so much, Nikki, for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. I want to know your story. I want to know how this all came about. How did you get into CrossFit? Were you always a healthy person? Fitness? How did that come about?
Yeah, I think fitness has always been part of my life. I played sports. I was a volleyball player. I played volleyball in college. And then when I got out of college, I started working out at 24-hour fitness pretty religiously. I was there every day for about 2 hours a day. One of the trainers actually came up to me and said, "Hey, you would be a good personal trainer. You want to, ever try it?" And I said, "Well, that would be kind of fun. Yeah, I really enjoy doing this. I'd love to teach someone else." So I started doing personal training once or twice a week, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up quitting my other job, going to a full-time trainer, and I was dating a police officer at the time, and he, through work, tried CrossFit. So when he tried CrossFit, he came home and he was like, "Oh my gosh, we have to try this. This is the coolest thing." And so I went to a CrossFit gym with him, fell in love with that. So then I wasn't training quite so much with 24-hour, and I really got into CrossFit being much shorter. I mean, in an hour, I can get such a good workout rather than 2 hours of lifting, then, 15 minutes of cardio, and then, kind of just walking around the gym, talking to people and not really giving myself a 100% workout. So I joined a CrossFit gym in 2008. And I did it for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then we thought, well, let's try to open one. So in 2010, I opened CrossFit Recoil. We're going to celebrate 11 years coming up here soon. It's been pretty fun. It's a great community. I've met a ton of great people. I've had people win with me for 10 years, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, that was kind of my path. I've always been into health and fitness, and then when I found CrossFit, I thought that's definitely the way I want to go.
That's amazing. I feel from my experience with this is that, like you were saying, in an hour you can get so much in. It's cardio. It's what's the term? See, I don't even know. There's so many extra. We were just talking about this in classes. There's so many exercise, different things we do. Sometimes you don't even see them for another 4 or 5 months, and then you're doing another exercise. So it's always something different. It's not the same repetitive. I don't want to say boring stuff that you do at a gym, but repetitive. Right? It's something different every time. You're working different muscle groups. What do they call compound lifts when you're doing,
Yeah, so CrossFit's big on, they're saying it's constantly varied functional movements at a high intensity. So we do everything from body weight stuff to Olympic lifting, and we're not necessarily doing the same thing every day. So you're right, we could do back squats one day and then not do those again for a week and a half.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. It's not the same routine. When you come in, you're doing the same things. You're constantly working different muscle groups. I'm trying to make it fun for you too.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's changing. There's bear crawl day. There's burpee box jump day. There's all kinds of terrible things that we can do.
Gosh, I love this house of pain that we're in right
Exactly.
now. This is what this is. It's a house of pain, but you love it. So that's, when it comes to the health program I'm involved in, that I now pay forward and help clients attain their goals for their health, is we have micro habits, what we call micro habits of health. And we identify what those habits are, instill them in your lifestyle, so that whatever goals you have for your fitness, for your weight, for your mindset, whatever it is, those become your habits. That becomes your identity, who you are. And not just a yo-yo diet or a fad or something like that. This has to be a lasting change.
Correct.
So our micro habits: proper nutrition, healthy weight, healthy motion, which would be this realm here, healthy surroundings. So you're surrounding yourself with people that fan your flame, people that are going to be good for you and who you want to be.
Very important.
And your healthy mindset. Having a growth mindset of openness, learning, being coachable, that's so important. So when it comes to your realm, like I was saying, the health emotion part of it, what is your philosophy as far as working out goes when it comes to personalizing. CrossFitting, or there's cardio, or there's lift, or kickboxing or whatever. How do you feel about? Because I mean, I don't think every exercise program. It just doesn't. It's not one size fits all, right?
No, it's not. So, I highly suggest finding something that you like. So I have a huge passion for CrossFit, but I also like spin. I love hot yoga. And you'll find me doing these things on other days or same days of the week. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to find what's right for you. Just like when you played sports, we all kind of got involved in soccer when we were little because it was the thing to do. Then you try baseball and you're like, oh, but I really like baseball. So find something that you enjoy doing, and then kind of stick with a regiment and a plan. You said something that really came to my mind with putting yourself around people that like the same goals, putting yourself around positive people. Most of my friends now, because I obviously own the gym, but are healthy and do CrossFit, and you don't have to be an absolute health nut. You just have to know that it's part of your life, that you're working out every other day, or a couple times a week. Yep. And just kind of have that good mindset that it's going to really, really help you with sticking to a process and a plan, surrounding yourself with those kind of people.
That's extremely important, and I'm glad you hit the nail right on the head with that, because I feel, and especially in here, everybody is friends with everybody.
It's great.
You guys were just talking about outside events where you're hanging out, and so the people. What do they say? You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with, or you're the average.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, yes.
So if you are looking to be a healthy person, looking to be a successful person, looking to be a happy person, you don't want to hang out with people who are sitting on the couch.
Exactly.
People who are broke. People who are, what you want to be in those people and around. So good. That's the healthy surroundings. When it comes to, like I was talking about, building healthy habits, or micro habits as we call them, I find that with my clients, and we were just talking about this before we came on camera, was the way it goes when you build habits is the habits, they have to be attractive, you have to get results, it has to be easy, and it has to be fun. Right. Or else you're not going to really want to go through it.
Yeah.
It's tough, and especially I think proper nutrition and healthy motion, especially for people, it's super tough to stick with it, because you're not always going to want to, eat the healthiest food. You're going to go for the pizza, or you're going to want to stay home and not work out and put yourself through. Right.
It's tough. Yeah. It's definitely tough.
So how do you help people stay engaged?
There's a couple things. So one, when you first come in to me, if you haven't been on a real fitness plan, I always say, okay, let's do 30 days of CrossFit. Okay, so let's do 2 or 3 times a week. You're going to lay out your week for me and tell me what days you're coming in. And I always say, I don't want to touch your diet. I don't want you to change your diet right now. Okay, I just want you to do 30 days of CrossFit. When we get to the end of 30 days, we're going to assess how we feel. We're going to assess how your body's changed a little bit. And we're going to kind of then maybe talk about your nutrition. You don't want to put too much on your plate in the beginning when you're trying to form something. You want to enjoy it, all right? So naturally, if you work out very hard in the morning, more than likely, you're not going to be going to McDonald's right after. That's kind of my thought process with that. Some people do, and that's okay, but it gives you just a baby step of, okay, well, I worked out really hard, and it was difficult, and I feel so much better about myself. I'm going to have a salad instead of a Big Mac. So my hope is that comes kind of just naturally on course, but sometimes it doesn't. But that's my first thing, is don't do 2 things at once. My second thing would be like an 80-20. So 80% of the time you're giving me all you got. 20% of the time you've had your son's birthday party on the weekend, or you have a date night with your husband, or you want dessert after, Friday night. Have it and do it and enjoy it, and then let it go. And the next day you don't have dessert. There has to be, I am not an Olympic athlete. I am not training for marathons or the CrossFit Games. I have a husband and a son who I adore, and if we have ice cream on Saturday night, then we have ice cream, But every night I don't. So there's my balance. I absolutely have family get-togethers, and we have snacks and stuff, but I worked out in the morning so that I feel better about eating snacks, or I don't have the snacks the next day. It's all really an 80-20. Give yourself some breaks. We are so hard on ourselves, and it has to be something that you want to do over time, not something that you're doing for a week.
love that. And that's something I always try to instill in people who are looking to make a change, or people who they have that hesitancy to change because they feel that doing a health program or fitness or something is too restricting on them.
Right.
And you can't have this, you can't do this, you can't, it's not can't, it's what can I do?
Right.
I can choose on Saturday if I want to go have ice cream.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because consistency is so much more important than perfection.
Absolutely.
So much more, because we can't be perfect.
No, and it's not a life that we probably want to lead anyway. You know, the ups and downs, the negatives, just, take it day at a time, one day at a time.
Yeah, so if you're consistently choosing 4 times a week to come to CrossFit in the morning, you can expect to get into better shape.
Absolutely.
If you're choosing to eat healthy 80% of the time, you can expect to lose some weight.
Absolutely.
And then, like you said, you go to CrossFit in the morning, it puts you in that mindset that I'm doing something good, and you want to build on it.
Correct.
You don't want to ruin it.
Correct. Usually
right?
that works out. Yeah.
Except for that 20% where you're like,
there are some times where it doesn't.
I can do ice cream.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time, and still, even if you do eat the ice cream, you did have motion, good motion that morning, right? Which is more important than no motion and eating ice cream.
Absolutely.
So take that as the win if you need it. I mean, there's some days coming here, going for a walk, and going home and going to bed is my win, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We all have bad days. Just because I'm an owner of something doesn't mean that I'm the fittest, easiest, best eating person in the world.
That is so true, and I have to remind myself. And sometimes I fall into that slippery slope where I have clients that are looking at me as far as health goes, and then when it's like, sounds really good tonight, okay, fine, pizza, and then I'm like, but you know what? I'll own up to it. I'll tell them, hey guys, guess what? I had pizza last night.
Right.
And
it's okay. It was delicious, and I'm not going to have it again tomorrow night. And I worked out the next day, and I'm moving on.
I'm fine with it.
And it's exactly.
Be okay with your choice.
Absolutely.
As long as it doesn't become your consistent choice.
Exactly.
There's the slippery slope that we really got to avoid.
Absolutely.
But it's just, you have to have that reminder of what type of identity you want to associate yourself with, a healthy person or a kind of healthy person. Because if you're kind of being healthy, then you're kind of going to get results, and that's not what you typically want. Right. So then what kind of benefits would you say, Nikki, that one could expect from coming to CrossFit, or, well, let's just stick with CrossFit.
Yeah, any fitness in general, but definitely for CrossFit. I like to work out in the morning. It sets my day up better mentally. I am a better mom. I'm a better wife, which is crazy, but an hour workout makes me feel much better about myself. My mobility and my body feels better. So if I get up and start moving my blood around, aches and pains that I had, or headaches or stomach aches, things like that seem to kind of work their way out for me. If you stick with something, you're going to just overall, exercise releases a positive dopamine, which I absolutely love. So your endorphins that are released will give you a better mood, which I think is great. Yes. Especially if you come in and you're like, I want to work out. Every time a client has said that, when they get here, they leave and they're like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. So that's huge for me. I've never had someone say that was the worst workout. I regret coming in. You get here and you're cranky, but when you leave, you always feel a million times better.
That's so true. And it is.
That's important. Your overall health. I mean, I have had clients that have fought diabetes, gotten, cholesterol down just by adding a daily workout 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. So not only that, but your muscle and strength can get better if you really are pushing yourself, which is fantastic. But there is, in my opinion, nothing but positive things happen from exercise.
That's great. That's great. I think when it comes to, like I was saying, our micro habits or just our habits in general, instilling that regimen, not just healthy motion, but a regimen of healthy motion is going to help your goals, your whatever you want. It's going to excel. It's going to take it. Okay, what does it say? 80-20 for your health is 80% nutrition, 20% fitness. But I've heard. So when you instill that 20%, it literally exponentially takes off. I've seen changes in my body. I recently, since May, a lot of my audience out here knows, but I dropped 71 pounds.
That's awesome.
Since May.
That's incredible. It's hard to do.
Thank you. And that's just from nutrition.
Right.
And
not touching
at
the gym.
I mean, on a walk, I'd walk 2 miles 3 times a day, and that was it. And so it was just nutrition. And my goal was to lose the weight, lost the weight, and now my goal is to change my body, to strengthen myself, to put on muscle.
Right.
Sticking with that nutrition, now adding in healthy motion, I've seen some changes in my body that I've never seen before. I've never been the guy that lifted weights. I don't know if you could tell, I'm sure you could tell, right?
No.
I've never been the guy that lifted weights. I was never the fitness guy. I was never the guy that went to the gym regularly. And now that I've found this, I know why. Because of the way it constantly rotates. It's always something new.
Right. It doesn't get boring.
It does not get boring.
Absolutely.
And so what I've seen in myself already is I've seen increased strength. I've seen some muscle definition, and like you said, the blood flow and mobility. I'm able to now. We did something the other weekend where we were sprinting. I haven't sprinted in God,
right?
I don't know.
Since we were 7.
Right.
It was fun to sprint,
and I felt, and I was probably going in slow motion, but I felt like, I was like, oh my God, I'm booking it, man. This is great.
That's
and
great.
it felt good.
Right.
Now, if I didn't have this routine where I wasn't constantly improving my blood flow and muscle, and muscles and everything, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
Right.
So,
nor would you probably do it yourself.
No.
That's one thing I like about classes and CrossFit being a guided, it's like a guided personal trainer without paying for fees. I mean, I would not go to the big box gym, walk in and go, today I'm going to sprint.
Yeah, no.
Like some people do, but most people don't. I wouldn't walk in and do squats either, but because of CrossFit, I have to squat now, you know, so that's pushing yourself past your.
That is so good. And it's true. We wouldn't do that.
No.
We wouldn't make us climb the rope.
Right.
We wouldn't do those things.
Today I'm going to do rope climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? No, probably not.
So-
A handful of people do, but mostly it's
Most people will hire a personal trainer for a lot of money, and not knocking that, because that's important too.
for sure.
Or, hire a nutritionist or a health coach that is going to help you in all these areas that, I feel like I'm almost like a general contractor where I'm like, go to this person for this, go to this person for this.
Right.
And then, but overall, I'll help guide you through that.
Correct.
So,
And the goal should be to guide them through, get them started on a good plan, and then release them into the wild.
you.
Right?
Yes.
It becomes a lifestyle change. Healthier eating, healthier working out or motion of any kind. And then that's just what you do for the rest of your life. And
Bon voyage.
yes, and that's the plan. It's not having to check in, 2 or 3 times a week and go to this and that and have, the goal is to give you the tools to live your life the best you can.
Right, exactly. And that's the philosophy I try to instill in clients too, is I don't want to have to do this for you the whole time.
Right.
But I do want you to check in, because that's how I know you're staying on point.
For
If
sure.
you're not checking in, I know what that means.
Right, exactly. You
Especially if
don't
I
wanna see
text
me, there's a
them.
reason.
If I text them 4 times and there's no response, I know what's going on. Okay.
Right.
If somebody doesn't come to class for 3 weeks, you know what's going on.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, releasing them out into the wild and say, good job. My part is done. My
Right.
little baby's all grown up.
That's where I feel the best, is when someone comes in and says they've lost weight, or they taught their daughter to go do this, or their mom is now walking weekly. It's like, cool, I taught you, and then we passed it on even better, That's my favorite, seeing the changes and results of you guys.
Absolutely. So, if anybody out there is looking to start a fitness regimen routine, I highly recommend, and it does seem intimidating, and it does seem a little tough.
Don't watch
to start
the CrossFit on TV. Don't watch that.
No.
Just come in and try
You
it.
come and you do your
We're
best.
normal human beings. Not that they're not normal. They're like Greek gods. We're just a step down from that.
It's tough, and it should be tough, but it's not as bad as you think. It's definitely something that can help everybody. So, Nikki, thank you so much for this. This has been awesome.
That was fun.
I really do appreciate coming in here every day and hearing you. Hi, Josh! I appreciate it.
I want to make sure you know that I know that you're here. It's important.
And everybody that's here. I mean, it's true. It's like you guys become a family. So I'm a little hesitant when it comes to really put myself out there, but I'm starting to know everybody and loosen up around people. So I really feel welcome when it comes to being here at Recoil. So I appreciate everything. Thank you so much for doing this.
No problem. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
So I'm back tomorrow.
Sounds good. We'll
Good,
be
you
here.
guys are good. Okay. All right.